So guys, we will learn about infiltrative lesions, right? So most of the times whenever you go for the ultrasound diagnosis or get your scans done, you usually see whenever in the report it mentions that you have a fatty liver or like a grade 3 fatty liver, and there is a infiltrative changes in the liver, okay, and infiltration of fatty molecules on the surface of liver parenchyma. Okay, so what does that means? It usually means that whatever metabolites that has been processed during the cell cycles, during the metabolic cycles, during the digestive process, you can say entire metabolic process of the body, liver has n number of functioning. So accordingly we have different organs also, like lungs, kidneys, right, glands, and skins also. So wherever these organs, when they tend to find a signal of inflammation, okay, local signaling of damage in the cellular structure, what happens is a lot of neutrophilic changes are seen inside that infected cells or inflamed cells. So what happens is this neutrophilic response per unit volume of the blood increases. So net increase in neutrophils, what happens is they start producing different types of differential leukocytes. Okay, one, as I told, a neutrophil. Again, subcategories of immune cytic cells appears to be arising on the surface of that infected or inflamed tissues, right? So what happens is during the course of time, recovery and immune response against the pathogen that is causing inflammation in the body or infection in the body, this tends to increase their quantity both in blood as well as in serum. Okay, so whenever you get tested either through your blood markers or through your ultrasound reports or any MRI or CT scans, you'll find that the lesions show a typical characteristics, right? That all depends upon the morphological state of that cellular compartment. So whenever this damage happens pathologically or metabolically during the enzymatic action to release all the toxins of, or you can say the wastage of the immune response happened on the cell to recover it to its normal integrity, that all collection of waste material that tend to accumulate in the region of your inflamed area. Okay, so by the time when the differential leukocytes increase, you can see that there is a different type of structural changes in the tissues. Okay, if you see any deviation from the normal structure of the tissues, then these lesions have that characteristics, right? So neutrophilic contents increase. Okay, so neutrophils increase. What happens is that when they are ingested out, okay, when the phagocytosis happens there, right, after the waste metabolite or the waste metabolites appearance of those substances that has been ejected out from the normal you can say physiological response and biochemical response of the immunological reaction happened there, that tends to form the neutrophilic lesions. Okay, so after the formation of this neutrophilic lesion, they create a colony. Okay, in that colony the whole residue and the sequestration of the bacterial action happened, and you can say all the immunogenic response happened to kill that type of antigen, that all gets collected into that area. So due to this chronic inflammation, they forms infiltrative lesions. The classical example is tuberculosis, the lesions of tuberculosis, whether it's a skin tuberculosis, okay, when it's a bone tuberculosis, gastric tuberculosis, or pulmonary tuberculosis. On that specific areas of lungs, specific areas of skin, specific areas in the spinal strata, you will see that the lesions have formed, and there is a bulk up of that lesion, bulking of the lesion due to the neutrophilic content, or you can say the wastage material of the cellular cycle, biochemical cycle, cycle that has been run during the immunological response of different antigen antibody interaction in the body. So what happens is ultimately body and its cellular compartment, they were successfully able to stabilize themselves, and they recovered it, and rest the matter where the inflammation happens, they temporarily make a residence there. So that typical lesions, if you see there, they are of infiltrative nature, right? So what are the other aspect of making diagnosis of those infiltrative lesions in terms of specificity of different diseases? So for tuberculosis, you know that they can, on the skin, they can form papillonecrotic lesions. So chances are there that there could be the lytic damage of various bacterial DNA and plasma cells, along with the neutrophilic response created during the fight between the pathogen and the antibodies that are formed, right? So the wastage cycle created an accumulation inside that tissue. Then you can say some mucoid lesions also, mucoid like lesions also, they are also infiltrative in nature. Most of the lesions are caused due to long-term inflammation, long-term you can say infection, or bloodborne infection, or you can say waterborne infection, and they stand for a long time. Okay, the pathogenesis time may be very slow to manifest, but ultimately they have made stagnancy in the vicinity of the cellular structure. So that's why they can make deviation of changes from the normal architecture. Okay, apart from that, infiltration can also be occurred due to metabolic defect in the body. In case of obesity also, certain type of cyst produce in the body, certain types of polyps create in the body. Okay, certain types of unwanted growths happens, warts, although warts are completely different thing, their manifestation comes from virus, but there is a different type of group of bacteria who are whose channel or colonies have been disturbed, due to which they die and they increase the neutrophilic content. So viral infestation is very easy for that, and easily any type of a strain of HPV or herpes virus, they can re-attack the body when the immune response get altered. So that's why it is always told to always have antioxidants in your diet, right? So that would help you to fight off this infection, this minor correction in the cell regulation cycle, and protect you ultimately from different types of medical condition. So you have to understand that whenever you see a deviation from normal structure in the tissue cells or cell membranes, that leads to the generation of different metabolic, pathological collection of molecules that could be harmful to the body and cause long-term inflammation and increase in pathological biomarkers like CRP, ESR, and different uh, specific condition of disease related disorder. So these are all the categorization through which you can see that these lesions are very important to understand. So I'll try to explain it more precisely to the location in the next lecture and to the context of the specific disease, how it happens to have that manifestation. Till now, thank you for your time, and I'll be posting more videos on the same content. Thank you.